who's bringing about, who's going to cause a lot of flux in the system, in the universe. These are the, so I would advocate for a group of self-realized people. So unless you realize yourself, how can you, unless you determine yourself and realize yourself, how can you ask for self-determination, say in Kashmir or in Nagaland or wherever else? I think this thought is coming into various people's mind. I think even Mr. Raj echoed that. He said that as he concluded his talk. I was in Nagaland last week, and I was quite happy to hear the General Konyak, who's the head of the Naga army, saying that we have to reconcile first and bring peace within the Naga community, and then we have to. And he said, forget independence for now. He's a man who fought for it. He's about 90 years old or something. So I think that thought is coming in. And I think Mr. Rao said that, if you take it a little further into a practical realm, that, why is the politics in such disarray? Because people, the educated middle class isn't voting, 40%, 30%, 40, whatever is the kind of the number of people who are voting today. So if more people, if more self-realized people came out and participated in the society, in governance, in politics, in everything, I think that would lead to sustainable peace. There's no time frame for it. It can happen anytime. It can happen tomorrow, but it can happen maybe 10 years from now, I don't know. But I think it's the individual, a peaceful individual is the key. All of us is what I would say.
Thank you, Bhattji. We have two backlog questions. Mr. Rao wants to react to that gentleman, and Dada wants to react to Jerry's comments, and then we'll open the floor. Mr. Rao first, please.
The army officer at the rear has made a statement. We need a system to make sure that various things can be done. When anyone talks about a system, I have only one comment to make on that. It's not the systems which make things work better. It's the people who work the systems are important. Whenever a failure occurs, the government of India has got this habit of saying it's a systemic failure. I just want to know, what is a systemic failure? A system has been designed and put in place by human beings, and it's being run by human beings, reacted with by human beings. It's always human beings who fail, nothing else. That's one point. Second thing he said is, the systems must be in place. Who's going to put the systems in place? Government is an interested party which is controlled by the politicians who, as Anita Pratap has quite rightly said, are not interested in a win-win situation. They are interested in I-win situation. So when we have a problem like this, we're faced with a problem like this, it's for the people like us who are perceptive, who realize what the problem is, to react and make sure the systems are put in place. I always feel very frustrated when we talk about somebody else should put the system in place. The fact is that system has not been put in place by somebody else, because that somebody else is an interested party. Those of us who are not interested parties, who want to look for win-win situations for everybody, for every single citizen of this country, we need to take the initiative to start doing things, to start bringing about change, to start putting systems in place. All of us should take this view that it is we, you, me and I, who should start doing something to improve matters. We cannot say somebody else should put systems in place. That's my submission to you all. Thank you.
Yes, Dada, please introduce yourself and ask a question. Very briefly.
Good morning, everybody. I am Shashank Roy Chaudhary, working for an organization called Hemophilia Federation India. Well, I would like to take you back, maybe 50 years back. We are talking about peace. It is a gathering some of us, we are all sitting here, we all understand the importance of peace, and we are convinced that there should be peace. And maybe there are thousands of seminars happening all over the country and other places of the world, and everybody, this kind of people are talking about it. But here, are we in a position to bring peace? Every day it is increasing, and it will increase. It will increase day by day. It is not going to decrease. You have seen for yourself, it is going to increase. So, what is the root cause? Why it was not happening about 50 years back? Why the country was not in a turmoil, in such turmoil about 50 years, 60 years? Maybe partition time there was things like that. I feel, I am convinced, from the core of my heart, I am convinced that there is only one problem in this country, and that is overpopulation. This country is unable to bear this burden. It is a heaven for 40 crores, but it is a hell for 100 crores. So, Jerry talked about the terrorist who is in a Bombay jail, who could be reformed. Well, Jerry, I don't think he can be reformed. I don't think any one of them could be reformed, because there are certain examples. I don't want to share all those things with you here. Let them be like that, but why they became terrorists? You go into the root of that. This is again the population. Scarcity of resources. They are not getting their food. They are not getting their employment. Why there are Maoists? Again the same thing. What Major Rao just now said about the mining and all, and migration of people. These things are happening because everybody is trying to occupy that little space which is not available anywhere. So I personally feel, and I'm convinced that if we can propagate this, other than only one speech of Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad in the parliament, in the entire session, nobody spoke about population in this country. And then he was snubbed. He talked about it only once. And then he was snubbed because of reasons all of us know. Now, if somebody can talk like that, if you can get into the situation where our population will be showing a negative growth for next 50 years, we'll come down to that status. I will not be there. None of us will be there. But this country will leave at least. That's what I want to say.
I am Professor Manoj Sharma, Maulana Azad Medical College. By profession, I am an oncologist. All the time obsessed with cancer and its treatment and availability of treatment. I have been listening to these discussions, and suddenly my mind went to my very basic patient to whom I have to explain. And I find the problem with the therapeutics or the success of therapy is basically because of education. We have ignored a very important factor, is the education and literacy in this country. Some times back, I was trying to implement the school cancer education project in Bihar, and I was told Nitish Babu is busy appointing school teachers because he, at the core of his heart, realized that he has to educate his population. In the about 20, 30 years back, when I went down south to seek an employment at Center of Excellence Cancer Institute, I found there was a big difference between the state from where I come, that is Uttar Pradesh, and the South Indian states. This was all education. That was all literacy. I just wanted to know from the panelists, do they have any information, especially Anita must be knowing,